Hello everyone, welcome to my Resident Evil Revelations, Infernal difficulty, no damage, no bonus items walkthrough. This is Chapter 4, A Nightmare Revisited, and we have just picked up the Iron Anchor key from Raymond. And that key will allow us to get into the casino area, but it also allows you to gain access to a side area, which we weren't able to access previously in Episode 2. And because we cleared out some of the enemies, we will not have to deal with them when we go to the side area. And it's all the way back over here. And in that room there is going to be some supplies that will be very handy for the later chapters. But you might have noticed that when I was in the workbench system, I put away my sniper rifle. That's for a good reason. I planned on doing this particular episode using only the pistol because I got really good results the last time I fought Rachel in my pistol-only run. And the pistol is very effective against Rachel because you get a customization kit in this episode called Days 3, and Days 3 is specific to the pistol. It allows you to deal double the stun damage, so you'll be able to stun enemies a lot more efficiently, and it is very helpful against Rachel, and that combined with the Burst 5 and also with the damage, it's a very effective way of dealing with Rachel. And Rachel works in a very interesting way where she works in phases, but you can bypass the other phases by damage racing her on the earlier phases. And in my pistol-only run, I used the highest damage customization kit, Burst 5, and also Days 3, plus a couple of grenades, in order to incapacitate Rachel in the first phase, and I was able to do that entire fight easily. And it's good that you do it this way, because if you let Rachel go to the other areas of the bilge, enemies will spawn in rooms, and they can be a little annoying to deal with when Rachel is also a threat. And Rachel is no different to the normal ooze, but she's faster and she can run, and she is pretty annoying. That's all I'll really say. And it doesn't really feel like a boss fight, it just feels more like a reskin of the ooze, only she has a couple of additional capabilities compared to the normal ooze that don't really make her interesting as a challenge, but more so a nuisance. And she has a lot of life, and damage racing her with the pistol is very effective, alongside the grenades. And as a backup, I'm also going to bring in the machine gun and also the sniper rifle once she actually leaves the first phase, because on this recording, I was not able to beat Rachel on the very first phase. She ran away into the bathroom area, and because of this, I decided to take additional precautions and bring the sniper rifle and the machine gun with me. And that is what allowed me to deal with Rachel easily. You're not going to have too much trouble with Rachel, but if you don't have the damage necessary to deal with her, she can be very problematic. And of course, this is a survival horror game, and ammunition is very crucial, but I kind of wish the reason was a little bit better than this. And furthermore, because Rachel inherits a lot of the normal capabilities of the normal ooze, and the normal ooze already hit you with attacks that just allow them to bypass the dodge entirely, Rachel is going to have that exact same problem because of how crappy the dodge system is on this game. And with how random her attacks can be, just like with the normal ooze, she can do the exact same bullshit things like the normal ooze can do, where they can spam the long-range attack at close range, they can do those one-frame arm swipes, which are almost impossible to dodge because it's that fast, the dodge just doesn't have time to register. And the only possible way you'll ever really dodge that kind of move is if you accidentally move the left analog stick forward and they happen to attack at that exact moment. That's the only time you're ever getting that dodge against that one-frame bullshit. I'll never understand why they put in these kind of attacks that just, they don't work. They don't gel well with the fundamental systems put in place with this game. The dodge system, because it's context sensitive, it doesn't work with that kind of fast attack. That's almost like light speed fast. And, you know, if they actually tailored the dodge system to aiming, like in Resident Evil 3, or they had a separate button input like in Resident Evil Dead Aim, this could have been a better dodge system. But why on earth would they tie the dodge system to the movement? I don't get that at all. I do not understand. And by the way, you might have seen moments where I'm strafing into an enemy. Well, I actually found out that you can initiate a dodge while strafing, or when you're backing up. Like when you're backing up, for instance, the only time that's ever really going to be effective is when you're dealing with Rahignazo, because he moves very fast, and because you're backing up, it makes it a little bit easier to get the dodge's detection properly. And then with the strafing method, when I'm strafing into the enemies, because I'm getting close to the enemy before they actually initiate their attack, because I'm quite close to them, the dodge seems to have better detection. But again, it still runs the risk of getting attacked by an enemy that chooses to do a one-frame attack. And that's the main risk associated with that, which is annoying, and that's why I most of the time rely upon the damage on my weapons to bypass a lot of the enemy attacks, because they didn't playtest the attacks that well in this game. And that's all I'm going to say for the moment before I bring it up in the later episodes. But one thing I forgot to mention, I put away the sniper rifle not only because I wanted to do Rachel's boss fight with just the pistol, but it failed in the end, but also to influence the ammunition that I get from these drops right here. Like right now, did you see those ammunition drops that I got? I got entirely pistol ammo, and that's for a good reason, because I only have the pistol in my inventory. If I had the sniper rifle, it would have swapped between either pistol ammo or sniper rifle ammo. So by taking the sniper rifle out of my inventory, I'm controlling the kind of ammunition I get from the ammo boxes, and also from the shiny objects that offer random ammunition. There are certain shiny objects on this game that will give you the exact same ammunition regardless of what you do, but if you note down exactly where the random shiny objects are, and you control your inventory correctly, you can control the ammunition you get, which is very helpful. And by utilizing this method, I'm able to amass a lot more pistol ammo than I would have had I kept the sniper rifle in my inventory. And this is the room where Days 3 can be found, and this ooze will always go off to the left before he attacks you, so use the time to take him out with your pistol, and do the same with the other guy. And you notice right here, I'm not reloading. Because of the fact that I have a load capacity upgrade on my pistol, and I need to remove that upgrade when I put on Days 3, because the M92F only allows 3 slots. If I choose to reload, and then I take off my load capacity upgrade, I'm going to lose out on the ammunition that's lost when I take off the load capacity upgrade. So instead of dealing with that, I'm going to make sure that when I take off the load capacity upgrade, that my pistol is not fully reloaded. Like right now, if I were to reload, I would get back 20 pistol bullets, but if I take off the load capacity upgrade after that, it would default back to 10 pistol bullets in my pistol, so I've effectively lost like 10 pistol bullets that are just unable to be recovered, regardless of what you do. And that is an important thing you gotta realize when it comes to the load capacity upgrades on this game. Because the game doesn't offer any sort of way to store your ammunition within these workbenches, the issue of losing ammunition when you take off a load capacity upgrade on your weapon is heavily apparent. So bear that in mind when you're experimenting with the load capacity upgrade. But I put on Days 3, I have 10 pistol bullets in my M92F right now, which is fine. As long as I'm perfectly hitting the arms on Rachel, she will not stand a chance, and 10 pistol bullets and hitting both of Rachel's arms are enough to stun her. And I need to melee her, I need to use my grenades. I'm also going to try to bring the machine gun with me so I can pump some additional damage in case I want to maximize on my damage a bit. But it doesn't help out that much, and the thing is, when you do a melee attack, you're a little delayed in swapping weapons afterwards. Like, you have to wait a little bit after a melee attack before the game actually lets you swap weaponry. Or when you throw grenades. Like, when you throw grenades, the game is a little delayed with actually swapping your weapons. And it's funny I mentioned this because Resident Evil Village has the exact same problem. When you throw pipe bombs in Resident Evil Village, or you use mines, you are delayed in actually swapping weapons. I noticed this issue in my Poor Designs of Resident Evil Village Part 1 video, and it's annoying that this can happen, and to think that they would inherit one of the worst things about Resident Evil Revelations in Resident Evil Village. I mean, yes, I understand that a part of the Resident Evil 7 team was in Resident Evil Village, although I imagine it'd be 1%, because Resident Evil 7 was actually mechanically polished compared to Resident Evil Village, which is honestly one of the most broken Resident Evil games I've ever played. So that's why I assume it's just 1% of the Resident Evil 7 team that was actually in the development for Resident Evil Village. But why on earth would they bring in a system from Resident Evil Revelations that was really annoying? And, you know, this wasn't a thing in Resident Evil 7, with this whole issue of not being able to swap weapons after certain animations. I never noticed this kind of problem in Resident Evil 7, but for some reason it's in Resident Evil Village. So how the heck did that get in there? It's just a great example of how incompetent the QA department was in Resident Evil Village. Like, if you've not seen the amount of problems that Resident Evil Village has, you've got to check out my poor design to Resident Evil Village Part 1 video, and I will be adding more parts. I have bloopers saved of Resident Evil Village in my capture gallery right now, and I just need to add it to a larger video clip. But stay tuned for that. And here's Rachel. I'm going to stun her with my pistol, and it's doing a lot of stun damage to her because I have the Daze 3 attachment and also Burst 5. And also, if you deal enough damage to Rachel, she will try to run away into the vents, but if you actually initiate a stun on her, she will then recover from the stun, and then she'll try to come after you for a little bit. So her AI kind of reverts in programming whenever she gets stunned, and that's important to note because you can stop her from going into the vents a little bit longer if you repeatedly stun her and you have the ammunition necessary to do this. And I'm swapping between using my pistol and my grenades. That right there could have been a little bit better. The grenades are hit and miss when it comes to the stuns elicited on Rachel. I don't quite understand how the stuns work on Rachel. I assume when she's in some kind of animation, she can get stunned, and maybe the game still thinks she's in the animation even after she's done the animation for like a couple of seconds, which is why she doesn't get stunned sometimes. Really, it should have been refined a little bit better, and you see right here, I stunned her, and she's coming after me. I could have been grabbed just then. That was very, very dangerous. Like, you have got to exert a lot of caution with Rachel when she does those kind of attacks. Like, if she did the one-frame attack, I was done for. There was no chance of me of dodging that. And the fact that I was at least backing up, and the fact that Rachel moves a lot faster than you, like, it definitely allowed me to back up a bit to avoid that grab. Although it's not going to work every single time. I just got very lucky. Like, there's just a bit of luck involved if you run out of ammo at the most inopportune moments with Rachel's boss fight. And this right here, I'm going to bring the sniper rifle with me because at least the sniper rifle will do a lot of damage. And you would think that the sniper rifle being a high-powered weapon would be capable of stunning her, but because this game is just so, like, rigid in how it's designed, and the customization kits play such a huge role in actually eliciting certain feedback, like, the pistol will have better stun damage on Rachel compared to the sniper rifle because I have the Daze 3 attachment on. Like, it's just so gamey like that, you know. I can't stand such gamey systems in survival horror games. I could understand them in other genres, but not in survival horror games. Like, this game could have been so much better and a little bit more realistic and a little bit more grounded had it got rid of the customization kits and it actually made the weapons have specific capabilities like in Resident Evil 4, 5, 6, and 7. But I'm bringing the sniper rifle with me. I'm going to take the time to get rid of these bombers here, and that will get rid of the ooze for me, which is helpful. And Rachel's going to spawn right behind you, so get ready to shoot her when you hear the music. And she is going to ignore all the stuns I'm going to be eliciting because I don't have any kind of Daze attachment on my sniper rifle because of how rigidly designed this game is. But, you know, she's already very low on health, and my sniper rifle takes her out, and that is the entire Rachel boss fight. We now have the lift key. I trust you can already figure out how to get back to this area right here. And that is the end of episode 4. So stay tuned for the future episodes. Thank you all for watching, and you take care now.